Hi, everyone, and welcome to the final segment of my conversation with Dr. Shailesh J. Mehta. In the first two parts, we spoke about building, career decisions, growth, and momentum. But this segment is a little different. This is about perspective. What changes when you've seen enough, built enough, and had the time to reflect on it all? Dr. Mehta, first of all, so good to have you back for this final segment. How are you feeling about the conversation so far?
I think that's excellent. I generally don't do many of such interviews, and but you did amazing. I agreed to do this uh, podcast with you, and I was fairly impressed when you sent me your earlier list of potential areas that you want to cover, and I thought they were well thought out areas and ideas. And first two session I thought went very well, so I hope we can do very well from my perspective. Others will judge it. But I'm also as much enthusiastic about this session after first two sessions. So I feel good. Let's
Let's go.
hope we can do something that other people can enjoy.
Absolutely. I'm just going to say I am massively flattered that you said all of those things. Um, so let's go. We're going to hit the start now. So I want to start with the people who are just beginning their journeys. For someone graduating this year, what is one mindset they must adopt immediately? What do you suggest?
I think I mean, see, people graduate degrees have its own perspective,
Mm-hmm.
and whether you are graduating with skills. For example, if you are graduating in medicine, then you're graduating with certain skills. And the skills, you chose that particular skills-oriented graduation, then you are looking for an opportunity or do something in that area and not make a sudden pivot,
Hmm.
something else right away. Uh, and some people are getting educated not necessarily for skills,
Hmm.
but creating a broader vision, is I call the second set of eyes, and
Hmm.
eyes of knowledge, where you a lot of people have skills like a carpenter,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
but does not have the broader vision
Hmm.
or the awareness of what are the opportunities and how to enjoy many areas in life and how to accept the world universe as a one family or whatever.
Yeah.
So uh, for skills oriented profession, I would say that there's not a much advice since you already decided what you want to do, and you should start with that.
Hmm.
Now, obviously, in the real world, what your end objective is. So if you're saying my end objective on a skills is I have a passion for these skills
Hmm.
and then execute very well. Even let's say graduating with the cooking skills,
Hmm.
okay, and they say, well, look, I know how to make bread, but
Hmm.
can I make the best bread that people will say to again and again want to eat the bread baked by me?
Yeah.
So that's an excellence that you can strive for. So you combine your skill with your passion, and you're not motivated necessarily financial rewards per se, but all skills and great skills get enough reward for you
Hmm.
to have a quality of life as well as fulfilling your passion. Now,
Yeah.
you have a skill. So look, I want to be a media person, and I'm going to create the best content
Yeah.
and present my content in a different format, different medium, and I'm getting enough compensated to have my life as I want to live, but I'm getting so much joy out of it so
Hmm.
that it doesn't matter to me, how much more I could make doing something that I don't enjoy. Let's say
Hmm.
one way to look at it. When you are getting out of it with an objective that I want to achieve certain financial goals, then there is a different approach. Some people are motivated that, I want to be the next billionaire or
Yeah.
whatever.
Hmm.
Then you follow that, but there I would say it's a path filled with a lot of dreams and nightmares together.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not simplistic.
Hmm.
Uh, And whether you will form your plans, your path uh, right away, I would say it is fine to start with,
Hmm.
but it's not necessarily you end up with a destination. You may have to keep changing paths
Yeah.
as you get the thing. I think sometimes, given strictly motivated by financial goals
Hmm.
and elsewhere is irrelevant, yeah, they should be to change the career or
Hmm.
to change they should use their education more from a standpoint of better vision,
Yeah.
but not a roadmap to success,
Yeah.
necessarily. I see the mood, but doesn't mean I can just go on my own
Yeah.
or it's easy to get there. So my advice is determine what drives you. If you're a
Hmm.
skill-oriented person, and if you're passionate about it, you could create enormous financial goal down the road, but not
Hmm.
trying to say that is the primary driver. Primary driver is to be the best skilled artisan I will
Hmm.
be. Okay.
Love the
If you're
first answer.
financial, yeah, if you're financial driven, right, just giving you, there are many other objectives, right? Then you should not go with the total preparation that lot of grit required, a lot of you should have no shame in doing any task to be successful, and you should be
Hmm.
not you should be humble and listening. But
Hmm.
it's a path with lot of obstacles. Uh,
Hmm.
but don't be driven by my uncle told me you should do this, and my grandfather said that you should do this. Uh,
Yeah.
so that's the best I can answer.
Perfect. I feel like so what we're trying to say is that not one approach suits all. Figure out what is it that you're looking forward to and then but then be ready to make suitable tweaks along your journey.
Correct.
What I loved is that you were so clear, and I absolutely enjoyed when you said that passion and skill have to be clubbed together and focus more on building yourself and then think about what your perspective is. But you know what the thing is? So many people, they spend early years optimizing for the wrong things. And then on the other end of the spectrum, there are people who've already done a lot but still feel stuck. So, for someone mid career and feeling stuck, what is the first internal shift they should make? What do you suggest?
That's an excellent question. That when you get stuck, you need to understand why you got stuck.
Hmm.
What's the reason? Most important thing that I said in my answer to your previous question is the feedback or ability to listening. Okay. Uh, every time you're stuck, there must be a reason
Hmm.
why you're stuck. Okay. Now you need to find that reason. Someone gets stuck because they thought I have a fantastic solution to a problem, but the size of the problem is very small, very small. So I don't have a market large enough. So maybe I'm going after the wrong market, or maybe I don't have my solution is not in demand. I need to figure it out something else. But answer is your whatever you're doing, your business or startup or career. If you're stuck, sit back and say where I'm stuck, why I'm stuck. Am I listening to my surrounding? What's the
Hmm.
data? What's the feedback? That's the one thing I would suggest to do. She said reflection and why I'm stuck.
Hmm.
The second thing I just wanted to add with an example
Hmm.
here is you need to, whatever you do, you try to do to ultimate perfection, which is very critical. Some people get stuck or not. The passion for perfection is far important than anything else. Doesn't matter what you do, whether you are a surgeon or whether you're a carpenter or whether you're a baker. Okay. I want to do it to the ultimate perfection. And not only that, but I want to do more than what is the real solution. I give you one example, as I said, and I don't take very long. And I sometimes admire, I have a little bias toward Chinese people. They're very, very driven by perfection in Bay Area. I meet them.
Hmm.
They're really smart. They're
Hmm.
not there just because of some strange reason. Okay. But, I just had a situation where one of my distribution from an investment did not hit my account.
Okay.
And the girl who handles that account is a Chinese,
Okay.
Katie Chan. And this is this week's incident. So
Okay.
I said, "Kate, uh, why this money hasn't arrived in my account? Where we got stuck? The wire was given from this capital, Griffin Capital, but
Hmm.
not hit the. Can you look into it?"
Hmm.
Now, this is a simple question, right? Now,
Hmm.
Katie's about this. So she did, most people will say, okay, sir, we don't see any wire. And, it may be in a suspense account.
Hmm.
We don't see it. So call the company that sent the wire and find out more detail and what is going on. Okay.
Hmm.
Now, Katie didn't do all that. Katie called me after 15, 20 minutes, says, no, I didn't see the wire, so I called the company.
Okay.
I forwarded the email. I talked to a girl named Michelle. I
Okay.
asked her why the wire is come. She said, "Oh, Mr. Mehta's wire instruction is not on file, so we mail the check." So I asked her that what if we want to put future distribution electronically?
Hmm.
So she used to fill out a form and sign it. Katie filled out the form and sent me all of this and said, I took care of everything. You payment will be in the check this time, but going forward, your DocuSign here and the wire will come in future directly to your account. Now that is what I call initiative. Okay.
Hmm.
Now I give you exact parallel. I have another distribution coming from a fund in India in an HDFC bank account.
Hmm.
Okay. Now they send me more email. We're sending money. We're sending money. Please make sure everything I verified. The money did not hit my account.
Hmm.
So as you, like Katie, I call my representative. I won't name because Indian, somebody may know. I said, where is my money? He said, sir, it's a Mahashivrat, I don't know, some holiday we
Hmm.
have. So I can't do anything about it, but stay put, I'll take care of it. Okay. The holiday went by, and then this is this week's story. Monday was our bank holiday, I think, in India.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ambedkar, Ambedkar Jayanti. Now,
Yes.
I called next day. So what happened? Sir, we have initiated, we think your wire was rejected. That's the answer. So what's going to happen next? Yes, sir, don't worry, I'll do it. I'll find it out. Since then, 48 hours ago, I haven't heard a word from anybody.
Hmm.
So now here are the two bankers, and we think Indians are smart and Chinese are not, whatever we criticize. Here are two bankers, two countries.
Yeah.
Look at the way one took the ownership of the situation and to the ultimate satisfaction to the client's need. It was a passion. She didn't get a penny extra for doing all this extra work.
Yeah.
Another one, taskmaster. I've asked someone else to check, and someone else has asked someone else to check, and
Hmm.
someone else is checking. So have patience. And then everything you start with sorry, sir, sorry, sir. That sorry is a meaningless phrase.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
so what I'm saying that even in the job, Katie will go much farther, I can assure you, in
Hmm.
that company than this gentleman because he doesn't want to own the problem.
Yeah.
Where Katie owned the problem. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Sorry, I took a lot of time. You can edit it, but it's just this week's experience.
No, we're definitely not editing. We're keeping everything intact because the example helped explain the difference in how people perceive things, and which is also the reason whether they realize it or not, what is getting them stuck in their career. And then people usually come back and say that, but we've been following everything that's been mentioned on our key responsibilities, but that's where you're failing because you're not going above and beyond in understanding what should be required and when should it be delivered within a stipulated time period. So,
So got it right. But also it is possible
hmm,
that someone does all of the above that
yeah,
I talked about and still get stuck. Okay.
okay,
Then what? But first you get the data. First you say, why am I stuck?
yeah,
And then if you say, either I'm working for a wrong company or
hmm,
I'm working for a wrong boss, or I have a wrong business strategy or a business
hmm,
model, and I need to accordingly react and create alternatives. Okay. So
beautiful,
if you're in an environment where you're not allowed to do what Katie did or own the problem, what my other gentleman at the other bank did it, because he may be the same character and passion like Katie,
hmm,
but to him, there are a lot of micromanaging constraints around. that
Yeah.
person. So said, look, I understand your problem, but I am told not to say anything negative about company. I'm told you don't cross the line here. Okay. Otherwise I'll be reprimanded. So in that case, that person is stuck not because of the person, but the ecosystem around that person.
Hmm.
And you need to transplant out of that ecosystem
Yeah.
system.
Well, well, in that case, I feel like there should be some way, and I'm sure even banks also, or for that matter, the companies that we talk about, they kind of understand what kind of works in one particular country, and maybe it is cultural, and like you mentioned about ecosystem, but they've got to figure out, right, the culture that affects the customers, and what is it that's making them stuck, and then eventually the customers tend to lose interest, right? Which is the
Correct.
part of the story.
That was story, and you lose the passion for the work because you say, look, I can't help despite I want to help.
Yeah,
And you was equally frustrated, apologizing for someone else's, poor system.
yeah.
And I would take a bold risk and move on. Uh, you
Hmm.
know, I wouldn't. It depends on also what stage of life you're in. I'm talking about only young and early stage people. You know,
Yeah, yeah. Well, that was the question. All
yeah.
right. We've discussed in great details, which is very nice, and I'm sure people will listening to it will take cues. I want to bring your attention to another topic. Now, we also feel that there's also this constant tension we see today, which is between ambition and burnout. How should young leaders think about ambition without burning out, in your opinion?
I think you cannot do your best thinking,
Hmm.
best productivity, best quality if you're burnt out.
Hmm.
So first thing, you don't need to burn out. Okay. A lot of these stories float around, that four people met in a Denny's and, had a little hamburger and on a paper napkin design NVIDIA chip. And you look at where they are. Well, it
Yeah.
happened. They didn't plan that way. They didn't have money to
Hmm.
eat at fancy place. They didn't have paper pencils, so they used paper napkin. But that's not okay. So what we're going to do, we want to build the next NVIDIA. We're going to go to a Denny's or Subway, and we're going to sit down on a table, and we're going to take a paper napkin and start drawing out our business strategy. That's a kind of a, not a very smart way to build company. Or someone says, if you are a startup and some VC who is, telling you that, look, unless you're working 18 hours a day, you're not going to be successful. Or someone says, copy the Chinese, see how they work. Or someone say they work 70, 80 hours a week. All of this to me is, it doesn't matter how many hours you work.
Hmm.
What matters to me, what you produce, quality of work. Okay. I've seen people working 10 hours and produce very little, and I've seen people working 3 hours and produce a lot.
Yeah.
So if you are rested, if you are relaxed, and if you're healthy, burnout creates health problem also.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
I see a lot of young people in their 50s and 40s fit, going to gym and sudden heart attacks.
Yeah.
Okay. So I am not a big fan of working beyond your mental and physical capacity and pushing to a level. I am definitely believer of a hard work. I'm
Hmm.
definitely believer of, enough work, but not that, I'm not on the other extreme that, I'm so smart that I don't need to work that many hours.
Yeah.
What is important is don't burn out. You need to rest. Your brain needs rest. You need to do something other than work to divert your attention and get a different level of enjoyment, satisfaction, rest. Your
Yeah.
brain neurons start to grow. So I'm not a great fan of work so hard that you're burned out because I don't think you can produce quality.
Sure.
I'm
I'm going to ask a follow up to this. Do you think this generation is getting ambition wrong or just defining it differently? Now, we keep hearing about the hustle culture, and especially in the founder stage, initial stage, when they're trying to establish their business or venture, it's a lot of extra amount of work, at least in the early stage. What do you have to think? What do you say about the hustle culture or that mentality? Is that valid?
sorry. So, very good question. And really, the point I was saying that having an ambition is necessary. There's nothing wrong. to be ambitious. Okay. And in order to achieve your ambition, and this is one thing I've noticed in my, as I say, I spent quite a bit of time in two countries, one India and one US. I find that Indian young people have right now the highest ambition that
Yeah.
I've seen for decades. They're very ambitious. They want to achieve something. They want to do something, and this is something I know I don't see in some other countries,
Mm,
especially in the US. The ambition is slightly different, but
mm,
not the passion and ambition I see in India. Now, one thing is different: your classroom and the real world. In classroom, we have been asked if you don't work hard, if you don't hustle,
yeah.
spend all the time so you can do very well and being the top of the class. Now, and then if you don't play and don't do anything else, then you might pass IIT entrance exam. And so life is full of sacrifices and not to enjoy the life as much as I need to be constantly ahead of and ranking my should be. And that in that context, it hardwire in the brain that the only way is to be competitive, better than my next colleagues, and I need to therefore make sure that my colleague leaves at 6, I will leave at 6:05, but not 5:55. Okay, because that is the only way I can be ahead.
Yeah.
So that mentality is not necessarily going to make you successful in real life.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, you need to move away from being number one, number five, number 10, number 11. In a class of 40, every mother wants my kid will be first. Okay,
Yeah.
in a class. But every, if everyone is first, who will be second? So
Yeah.
the idea of, and I have been reached by many parents about their children who have come to US and then their career already written by the parent, okay,
Hmm.
Mumbai. And they say, my son wants to do this dumb thing, kind of thing. I told him I spent so much money on education. I got him in with my all the networking in Ambani school, and then I got him to Europe, and then the US, and got his college degree. I collected my network and made sure he worked in Wall Street or McKinsey or somewhere.
Yeah.
Now he's ready, and now he wants to do something different. Can you explain to me? Okay. So the hardwired career, hardwired scripting,
Yeah.
ranking, we are the third largest economy or fourth largest economy. We are this, move away from that. I
Yeah.
want to learn how to earn people's respect, learn how to create arbitrage in the skills,
Hmm.
learn from everyone's. No, no, I may be good at few things. You may be good at few skills. I want to learn what you're good at it rather than compete with you in a way that is neither productive and nor I'm going to achieve it. So ambition is necessary, but to achieve your ambition, move away from that. The only way you achieve your ambitious goal is how do you leverage
Yeah.
everything around you, people,
Hmm.
systems, so on.
Hmm.
So, yes, leveraging is important, uh, but and ambition is important. Hard
Yeah.
work is necessary, but it's not the only. You aren't born to just work.
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry.
No, no, that's fine. All right. So we spoke about professionals or the graduates who are going to be or the students who are going to be graduating. Then we spoke about mid career. Now I want to talk about the people who've accomplished. So when you've accomplished as much as you have, reflection becomes inevitable. After accomplishing so much, Dr. Mehta, I want to ask, do you carry any regret right now?
Okay, it's a benchmark. Different people use different. From some people, say I've accomplished a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think I have a long way to go. And some other people, so it's all over the thing. For me, whatever I'm preaching, I've practiced. So let me start with that. Any assignment I took, I did it with the ultimate perfection. I took the initiative to own the problem. It didn't matter which level or where I was. And it created a different personality with people
Hmm.
around. I leverage. people who were smarter than me. Someone said that if you are the smartest person in the room, then you are in the wrong room.
Hmm.
Okay. And change the room. Okay. So, you want to hang around people smarter than you, for that matter. So some people enjoy being the smartest people in the room, but then you're in the wrong room. And I say that again because I have found that when I was in Cleveland, and I was perhaps, I mean, not perhaps, actually the smartest kid in the class, but in the graduating class, and my GPA is one of the finest. But I didn't say that, people used to take tutoring lessons from me on the operations research courses and I pay me. But then I said, okay, I didn't let that say I'm smartest. I said, wait a minute. Am I hanging out with the right people here? Or, so to me, the whatever you do, and that's what I did in my case. That I always took my job as I think I mentioned that I was doing tutoring in a black high school to getting paid $3 an hour to teach black kids advanced math. And
Okay.
I'm an IIT graduate going master's program in operations research case. But to make ends meet, I was doing a job in a black school in a black neighborhood for $3 an hour.
Hmm.
School is still there. But all the 12 black kids in my class got a day that never was ever achieved in that school. Because
Wow.
I took that job not as a, no, this is not my job. It's just I'm doing to fill my pocket,
Yeah.
and these blacks will never learn. The hell with it. And as soon as I get my money made, I have no passion about how well these kids do. I just wanted to make sure all the kids do well. So
Hmm.
I have no shame of working, of any kind of job. I have no shame in being polite to and modest to someone who is smarter than me.
Hmm.
And there are people smarter than me, harder working than me, more successful than me. What do I learn from them rather than compete with them? My colleagues are smart. There are always I learn something. So
Hmm.
I I took this approach everywhere. And the second approach, I said, how do I do a human arbitrage? Okay. The human
Hmm.
arbitrage is how do I value someone? And that
Hmm.
person's value I see is far higher than the person himself, herself, or anyone is valuing. Then I said, this is an opportunity to grab this person and have that person work with me, for me, and I keep the
Yeah.
arbitrage with me, because that he's happy or she's happy, but I can keep the upper part of the higher value that I can create out of that person.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
so, if I take someone very good in the data analytics, and I build the data analytics in the 88, 89, the person doesn't understand that the value of that person's ability to do algorithm is so much to me that the person thinks, no, I'm a brilliant mathematician, linear programmer, but I'll be happy if I make $85,000 a year in those days. That was a lot of money, 85. I say it's worth at least 200. So how
Hmm.
do I get this person on my team and
Hmm.
keep the difference? And that started giving me the benefit of not intellect but wealth.
Hmm.
Uh, and learning from anyone should not stop, no
Yeah.
matter. Yeah.
All right.
I
Let me ask
want.
you this.
Right.
Um, if you go even further back, is there something you wish you understood 20 years earlier?
Oh my God, a lot. I mean, now you really stir up, and I go back and I might say, my God, I could have been at least 5x from where I am today if I knew what I know today and what
Wow.
I'm preaching today. Yes, so much, so much. I was impatient. Okay, now I got a lot of patience.
Okay.
Okay, I was impulsive at times. Now I buy time before reacting. There are times I was also competitive. Now I realize that, I created more political enemies by doing that.
Ah.
So, I can go on examples after examples. I was judgmental rather than form an opinion too soon. I
Hmm.
viewed myself smart enough to understand this is fake, but never understood that it's not all the time I was right. So I can go. And the good news is I am improving a lot by reflecting that and changing today. But yes, absolutely. I can tell you at one of the biggest thing, if I can turn back the clock,
Yeah.
20 years, and I think exactly put me in the same circumstances, I think what you see in my accomplish is nothing compared to what I could have been. I'm
What?
honest. Yeah.
Okay. This
So
is giving me chills, Dr. Mehta, when I'm listening to you, and I'm like, I gotta work. I gotta change my strategy. I gotta think much that how much more I can get out of this time. And this is really motivating me right now when I'm listening to you.
yes, yes. Some say that it comes with the aging
Hmm.
also. But I think that I was just, no, I was one thing, some of the mistakes I made because I was honest
Hmm.
and I couldn't handle injustice
Hmm.
from my perspective.
Hmm.
Okay. So someone is exploiting someone, I couldn't take it. And I just told that person, hey, this guy is taking advantage of you. I thought I was doing a good job. Actually, I was making two enemies. Okay.
Oh.
Okay, because the guy who was taking advantage is the guy I talked to is
Yeah.
not mature enough to understand that. So he
Hmm.
went and he told that Mr. Mehta told me that you're taking advantage of me.
Oh, wow.
So the guy got mad at me. And the guy and that guy said, okay. So I mean, sometimes being righteous
Yeah.
uh, caused me more pain and agony and even hampered my career growth.
Hmm.
Today I say being righteous is important, but be careful how you use it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So
that's the change.
while we say that, like you mentioned that a lot of things you learn with time, you're always doing your best. One always tries to do their best and make the most of the time and the opportunities in hand. But there are things you learn with experience and with time with people, which brings me to how success also evolves over time. So let me ask you this. Has your definition of success changed with time now?
I mean, success is a relative. I mean, it's a word can be interpreted multiple ways.
Hmm.
Okay, some people view financial success is the success.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So one barometer many people use that your financial success is the ultimate success because everything in the other part of the life gets benefited because of that. And some people say that because the person has made money is smart, not necessarily smart, but people think that way. Okay.
Hmm.
Suddenly the guy with the financial success views likes to rewrite the history. They all like to start with, "Oh, I come from a very humble background," kind of a story in West is considered very good. Uh, I've seen people rewriting the history, especially there's some people use success as what I've accomplished something in my
Yeah.
life. And there is another dimension. For example, financial success is about I am fit and physically and I enjoy my life even today than
Hmm.
compared to I am in a wheelchair or I've got
Yeah.
billions in a wheelchair, for example.
Yeah.
Some people view success as that I have a family that I'm proud of.
Hmm.
And some people say I don't care about if my older parents are living in a dump
Yeah.
or my grandchildren are on drugs.
Hmm.
So success is a individual thing, but I view that one should be successful in multiple dimensions. Your health, your financial success is necessary, but
Hmm.
not sufficient. If you are a family-oriented family, if you're not, that's fine.
Hmm.
It doesn't matter. In California, we don't care about all those things. And if you are successful, but you're doing something for the society,
Hmm.
you're contributing to the humanity. So it depends on which I personally feel that you need to succeed along all those dimensions, then you are truly successful. I'm very actually in all my family, just take it 1 minute. We have three families. Myself is our own, me and my wife. It's family
Hmm.
one. My son, his wife, and two kids, family two.
Hmm.
And my daughter and her two daughters and her husband, family three.
Hmm.
Financially, family number one and two is far more successful than family three.
Hmm.
Okay. Both are professionals.
Hmm.
But I think they live the best life among all three of us in
Okay.
terms of quality of life. Okay. They work hard, they work best, they have enough money, but they have modest home, and they spend more time, surfing, going on the beach, hiking. They are always traveling, and they don't worry about whether they sit in the business class or economy. All they worry
Hmm.
about is, so and they're happiest of all three. So we
Hmm.
both, my wife and I said, look, they are more successful than us because they live it.
Hmm.
Okay. And to me, their criteria of success is higher than my own success, if you ask me. Uh, but so to me, it's a bit relative. And some people simply pride that if I have too much money, then everything will come to me easily. And
Yeah.
that's all I care about. And I'm
Yeah.
not against, but it's an individual word and relative to.
Yeah. I also kind of feel that one person can have a different definition of success depending upon the stage of life, also.
Yes.
Right? Do you feel like
Yes.
when you're working, initial part of your life, you're very focused on building a good life, so you may be focused on benefiting more financially. Whereas once you've grown and once you've established, have a nice family, things are doing well, then your focus is going to be towards achieving that happiness, peace, and spending more time with your loved ones. So then the barometer also changes with time, right?
Right on money, right on money. It's a dynamic,
Yeah.
it's a time driven. Okay. For a young person, yeah, yeah, let me tell you, in my own time driven, that there was a time I just wanted to say that I have to have enough financial
Hmm.
success to
Hmm.
ensure a proper home, proper education for my kids,
Yeah.
and I can afford most of the necessary things and some better.
Hmm.
And therefore, until I achieve that goal, I don't have time for charity and I don't have time for, other things. And I'm young, so I am fit. And it
Yeah.
doesn't matter if, whether I stayed awake till midnight or didn't get enough sleep or burned out for
Yeah.
some, say,
Wow.
okay, 2 weeks of burnout I can handle. So yes, but so that dimension, once you cross that part, then
Yeah.
you need to open up the second dimension.
Hmm.
Okay. Said, okay, I have enough money and I'm going to stop making it. But maybe I should take care of myself, my health.
Yeah.
I'm working
Yeah.
too much. Maybe I should start exercising. And I'm in the second dimension. So it
Hmm.
is dynamic. It changes with age. Some people, make a quick hard turn when the message comes from, body that you are having a chest pain. Go to the doctor and suddenly say, oh, trying to make money is causing me chest pain. Let me pivot with at a second dimension. And then I better exercise, eat healthy. So uh, I elaborated your answer or your question.
Yeah.
But it is dynamic. It does change with time, but the birds should be there right from the beginning.
Yeah.
So the degree with which you go changes with time. So
Perfect.
I think walking, more exercise should be right there, even if you don't have enough money, or some concept of charity should be there. Maybe you're not writing big checks, but you're helping somebody out crossing the road, for example.
Yeah. I mean,
It
that
require
notion that should always be there,
yes,
irrespective.
yes, but it is dynamic. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Bringing our focus to leadership and wealth, I'm kind of curious because you've seen leadership and wealth up close across decades. What is one belief about leadership or wealth that you stand by, even if others disagree?
I think leadership to me is by example
Okay.
rather than by preaching.
Hmm.
A lot of people preach a lot, but when you look at them, they don't live that preaching by example,
Yeah.
practicing themselves. So, if you want to be leader and you talk about things that be transparent to everybody, but then you're opaque.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Which
you
I
say
feel like,
justice does not differentiate
yeah.
between rich and poor, but then your son gets a bail, but a poor man doesn't. That's not a leadership by example, if you ask me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Kind of
by
like,
example.
sorry, I just wanted to say that I feel like sometimes it also happens that in organizations, some people, because of hierarchy, they are at a leadership position, But then there are some other people who are by nature capable and who are more driven and who have the capability. So I feel like conventional thinking models are also done away with. What do you think about that?
Good question again this time. So, look, hierarchical approach was done by the masters, the
Hmm.
colonial time. In
Yeah.
India, for example, the British have created a hierarchical structure. But even you go to the history of Britain, UK, the
Yeah.
before England, long time, the idea of king, and then the law, then the earls, and then the barons, and in France, or earls in England, and then the lords, and then the commoners. The hierarchical structure in the human race came, I don't know when. And then similarly in India, the hierarchical say if you're Brahmin, and if you are, warrior class or whatever, that hierarchy is not visible in US, because the
Hmm.
first country who invented the concept of democracy and threw away hierarchy and said that even a president can be only 2 terms, no matter good or bad. He can
Yeah.
never do a third term. So they took out the hierarchical, and doesn't matter, my maid and I can go to the same hospital.
Hmm.
Okay, and that happens here. We both go to Stanford Hospital. So they broke that, well, I think, completely away the hierarchy. And as soon as they broke the hierarchy, they became the leader in the world.
Hmm.
The innovation flourished. People excelled. People from coming. If you look at it, how many U.S. companies are led by non-U.S. person, not
Yes.
born in, right? Now, I cannot imagine that happening in India today.
Yeah. I
Okay,
mean, no, but we were talking about India is progressing.
leadership. Sorry, go ahead.
No,
So
I was
that's
just.
the hierarchy. Let me. Yeah, sorry. So hierarchical structure needs to be broken, if you ask me.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
leadership is achieved, leadership is earned, not granted. So
Yes.
now, to facilitate a robust discussion, to facilitate a robust debate, to facilitate different opinion and be transparent about it, is eventually earns the leadership. And
Hmm.
a leader is respected when the leader gets best out of you. Okay, so that is the true leadership. So if you are running a business, get the best out of everyone working for you,
Yeah.
you know. And if the person cannot do the arbitrage, I told about it, that look, I'm paying much more than the person is able to, maximum opportunity, then you should be able to get rid of that person also. But that's also part of leadership. Sorry, go ahead. You were,
No, no. Amazingly answered. And I was just saying the same thing that talent and skill should take precedence over leadership or hierarchy, and then figure out the most capable person who, like you mentioned, has earned the spot, right?
correct, correct. Absolutely.
That brings me to the very last question, Dr. Mehta. Now,
Yes.
this podcast is called Unapologetic Me for a reason. So, if I have your permission, let me ask you at this phase of life, what are you the most unapologetic about?
Okay, this is a very tough question. Uh,
I tried.
I think I'm unapologetic. Uh, I think I best way. You really got me here. So, what do I say? This is a very curveball you threw at me. Uh, Look, whatever I've done, okay, in my life, I have some mistakes, and I have also made some wrong turns in terms of, making decisions, or career, whatever, social life, personal life. And when I look at the pluses and minuses, two sides of my ledger, okay,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, negative side ledger is smaller, in all honesty. Some of this I could have done it right, but on the other hand, I said that overall, I'm not going to be, you know, apologetic. I'll be unapologetic.
Yeah.
Some negative sides of my ledger, because maybe I did that at the time and the moment that I made a misjudgments. Okay, and that tells me I'm human
Hmm.
and I do make bad judgments,
Hmm.
but it is not intentional. It's just the constitution of a human being.
Yeah.
certain circumstances. So I'm unapologetic about it. I made mistakes,
All
but
right.
it is not planned mistakes. But it is at a certain point in time, you lose your judgment, you lose your rationality,
Mm,
uh, and you reflect and say, "Oh my God, why?" But
mm,
at the same time, you say, "I'm not going to be apologetic about it because we all
yeah.
have a weakness of being human."
Hmm. And then this is life. So we live it, and so we decide. We always take the best call in our best interest at that point in time. Sometimes it plays differently, and that is why we do reflections, right?
Yes. So yeah, and you're absolutely true. But we are. I'm not apologetic about. Let's say I'm saying that sometimes there is a morally wrong, but you feel different.
Yeah.
Is this wrong? Yes. Well, it's apologetic? No. Okay.
Hmm.
Because it happens. And
Yeah.
when it happens, that's where you say you're a human, you
Hmm.
know. And, so I'm not going to be apologetic about that. But at the same time, when you sit back and look at it, and then you reflect
Hmm.
that, and sometimes you rationalize and say that that's the way I do it, and God bless me and God bless everybody. But on the other hand, you know, uh, it's something that should not be, it's dumb.
Yeah.
But so I think I like your title. I think now I'm reflecting, but you're absolutely right that there are things uh, I'm not apologetic. Even now, there are things that a thought can go through your head,
Yeah.
and then, okay, I'm human. That
Hmm.
thought is going through. I'm
Hmm.
not going to be apologetic about it. But yes, accepting that as your uh, reality or trait
Hmm.
and be careful about it is important.
Hmm. All
I
right,
hope
Dr.
I gave you a decent explanation.
We've had such a fun time recording three parts of this episode, and I'm so, so grateful you made time in spite of your busy schedule. Now, what stands out in this conversation isn't just achievement, it's clarity. Clarity in decisions, clarity in principles, clarity built over decades. For students, this is a blueprint. For leaders, this is a reminder. Long term success isn't accidental, it's designed. Dr. Mehta, thank you for sharing not just your milestones, but the thinking behind them. This has been Unapologetic Me, and this one was about building to last. I'm your host, Ekta Kurana, and I'll see you in the next episode. Until then, live your life unapologetically. Thank you.
And thank you, Ekta. I enjoyed it. And
Thank
everyone,
you.
thank you very much.